Hello and welcome back. You may remember my review 4 months ago of the Majohn P139. Well, now the 139 has a big brother, the Majohn P140. And he's a big boy. At first glance, I see some nice crystal clear acrylic with gold trims. Other than the P140 being a demonstrator pen, the most obvious difference between the two pens is the length and shape, with the 140 being a cigar shape with rounded end finials, whereas the 139 has the conical end finials. They share the same cap band design. However, the 139 has a different clip design. But Majohn retained the elements that make the 139 such a great pen, which is the brass piston rod. And you can see here that considering the large diameter of this pen and the range of piston motion, this pen should hold a lot of ink. Another element that is carried over from the 139 is the beautiful size 8 nib. This is a medium nib. The feed looks like an ebonite feed, but my guess is that it is a plastic feed. The cap has a built-in ledge to prevent nib dry out. For those of you who like the look of the nib being lined up with the clip, the 140 does not naturally do that, but there is a workaround for that. You will need to cap the pen with the nib facing away from the clip, and then it will line up perfectly. But I think Majohn designed the pen for the nib to face away from the clip so that you can get a good look at this beautiful nib. Starting at the top of the pen, we have a crystal clear acrylic cap finial that is accented with a gold band that is part of the clip assembly. The beveled clip design is stiff but usable. It seems that Majohn has realized that people do not like the short clip that was on previous pens. There are two gold cap bands divided by a section of acrylic, a thin narrow band and a wider band that has some wave designs and is nicely rounded down to the pen barrel so that there are no sharp edges. And this acrylic is really beautifully clear. The pen body tapers down to the rounded piston knob, which continues with the clear acrylic. And here is another look at the brass piston assembly. The cap comes off in just over 1 1/4 turns. Here is a capped comparison of some of my Majohn pens, the P139, the 140, the C5, and the V60. Here is a size comparison with the caps posted, and yes, the P140 cap does post and post well below the piston knob, but you can see that it makes it a very long pen. Here are the pens uncapped and with two Moonman M800s. And here is the 140 with several other demonstrator pens. The TWSBI VAC 700R, the TWSBI Diamond 580, and the Asfine V200. For those of you who may be wondering if there is a difference in the grip sections without calipers, I can't really tell. I suspect the fact that the 140 section looks so much smaller here is an optical illusion created by the difference in the materials. If there is a difference in diameter, it will be due to the thickness of the pen material, as the housings should be exactly the same. And here is how the sections look in hand, and except for a slight difference in the threads, in a blind test, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. For this writing sample, I have the pen inked with Birmingham Pen Company's Ohio River. And this is what it looks like on a wearing gold swatch card. For the writing sample, I decided to compare the nib of the Majohn P140 against the P139 as well as the C5, since they are all Majohn medium nibs. The only difference being that the C5 has a number 6 size Majohn standard nib. The P140 has a smooth nib with just a little bit of toothiness. My ultimate conclusion is that the nib on the C5 is the smoothest of the three pens, although the ink selection may play a large part in that. By the way, the P139 is now available in a black rock color. I'm still hoping for a blue resin in the 139. I wouldn't be surprised if Majohn released the P140 in a variety of resin colors. Now they've gone to the expense and effort to create this pen body design. So maybe in 8 months or so, we'll see some different color editions of this pen. So that's my review of the Majohn P140. What do you think of this pen? Is it sufficiently different from the 139 to make it worthwhile to buy? Or is it a money grab to capitalize on a previously successful pen release? After all, only the external elements of the pen have changed. The guts, or the working parts, are still the same.